Hi, freshman ping pong champ.
You keep up that funky ass spin shit. I thought I got you figured out, son.
Yeah, that's just what I want. You thinking you got me clapped? Then I set you up.
I'll let you know when I feel threatened.
Whoa! You feeling threatened yet?
Stupid fucking game.
My dad was a
fuck off.
Hi, welcome to What the Flick. It's super cozy here. It's sort of a weird week, just me and Alonzo. We're going to talk about Everybody Wants Some with 2 exclamation points on the end of it. We get punctuation today.
That's how Van Halen did it, and that's how Linklater's going to do it, damn it.
Yes, we're purists here. So please tell us about the latest from Richard Linklater, my friend.
So they're calling this one the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused, and that's not a terrible descriptor. It's set in August of 1980, and it's the 3 days that elapse between a young freshman's arrival at college and the first day of class. And he's a baseball player, and he's moving into the house where all the other baseball players live, and these guys want to party and get laid. But they're Richard Linklater characters, so they're not horrible, and they're kind of fun to hang out with, and they have interesting idiosyncrasies, I can talk, and they're really funny, and they're people you want to spend a couple hours with. Check it out.
Okay, I'd like to introduce you to the new guys on the team. There's going to be some guidelines for living here. Number 1, no alcohol in this house. Number 2, no girls in those bedrooms.
You notice everything around here is a competition.
This is why we're one of the best teams in the nation, man.
You get a bunch of competitors together.
Fuck you!
Oh! And you're addicted to winning.
You can't teach this chemistry. I know where I'm going with it before he even gets it to me.
Yeah, and I know where he wants it.
That's special.
Let me talk, man.
Hey, ladies.
You should be investing this energy elsewhere.
I like the quiet guy in the back seat. In the middle.
You guys hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
Delusional.
How did you know what room I was in?
I'm an investigative journalism major.
I guess you know my name then.
Yes. As soon as you tell me.
This is college, Jake.
You bring who you are, never who they want. And that, my friend, is when it gets fun.
Borrowing this.
Hey, wait, hey, you returned that with 1 scratch on it? What? What?
What? What?
What?
I know they talk about this as a sequel somewhat to Dazed and Confused, but it
Right.
also kind of picks up where Boyhood leaves off.
True,
Right?
yes,
It's
it
the
is
arrival
at college, absolutely.
Right. I saw this like a month ago, before the opening of South by Southwest. This is the opening night film at South by Southwest, and I can only imagine that it must have played like freaking gangbusters.
Oh, probably so,
in that
yeah.
theater on opening night. It's maybe the most Richard Linklater film I've ever seen, because it's totally him in film form in so many ways, like the baseball. You know, he was a baseball player growing up. It's so Texas.
Yeah.
And just the talkiness and the surprisingly eloquent philosophical talkiness from characters that you don't expect.
Sure.
And also just finding actors rather that you've never seen before, and giving them all an opportunity to shine. Like it's meandering and shaggy, but in a really agreeable way. It's so him.
Yeah, this is one of those sentences that I hate to say because it sounds so film criticky, but it reminded me of an early Godard movie, you know, about sort of young people kind of figuring out their place in the world and having philosophical conversations, even though they occasionally get in over their head. But this is also a movie where like people would go disco dancing, you know, or go to, go like in the course of 3 days. One of the characters points out, we went disco dancing, then when we did the Cotton Eye Joe at a country place, and now we're moshing at a punk show. You know,
all in one night that happens, I think.
Well,
right?
over in 3 successive nights, yeah. But it's 1980, you know. The soundtrack was great. It was like wall to wall, like every song I liked on the radio as a kid. You know.
I was gonna say he spent a shit ton of money on music.
Oh, must have, yeah.
I mean, because you've got the title Van Halen song, but you also have Ain't Talking About Love. You've got some Donna Summer stuff in there.
Oh yeah,
you
the
got some country
Cars
stuff
and
in
Gary
there.
Newman
Right.
and yeah.
And
but
it feels germane too. It doesn't feel like gratuitous. Oh, let's drop in a song that makes no sense.
No,
It's
totally,
all like
totally.
the soundtrack of their lives.
And he's so great with his period movies are so great that way in terms of incorporating that stuff. You're right. It is a very Linklater movie because it does tie in elements of Dazed and Confused, but it also ties in elements of the Before trilogy in terms of just the way that people talk to each other and the way that young people are sort of excited about what's about to happen in their lives and that kind of thing, and the sort of the potential of what they could be doing.
And the connection between Blake Jenner and I want to find out her
Zoey
name.
Deutch.
Zoey Deutch, yes, daughter of Leah Thompson, looks
Yes.
just like her. Yeah, their connection and how like magical that is, but it can go a lot of different directions, is also before-ish.
Yeah, a lot of fun character. Like Ryan Guzman, really funny and charming in this, and not in his usual wheelhouse.
Right, he of the first edition Iliads.
Yes, exactly.
But what's so funny is that he's maybe the only actor that you would know from this. And
Pretty much. I mean, Blake Jenner was on Glee for a season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Tyler Hoechlin who looks like he stepped out of a 1979 Playgirl. Don't ask me how I know that. He was on. He was on Teen Wolf. I mean, like these are sort of like kind of young up and coming actors.
Zoey Dutch was in Dirty Grandpa.
Right. The I think Charlie is his name. The bearded California pitcher is the son of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
he's
think I
the
knew
one
that.
the one kid they had together. But yeah, so again, as with Days of Confused, these are it's an ensemble of some familiar faces and a lot of people you've never seen before, but you'll be seeing a lot of them over the next decade.
Yeah,
probably.
definitely. Yeah,
we didn't know who Ben Affleck or Parker Posey were when Days of Confused came out, but obviously they went on to be a big deal. Yeah, this is this is the kind of movie where people go, oh, it's not about anything and nothing happens. Those are the hardest movies to make, because it's one thing to tell a story and have a plot, but to meander in the way that Linklater movies can do sometimes, that takes such a tight control over what seems to be kind of paradoxically, loosey-goosey, to keep things interesting and to have the characters grow without being obvious about it. I loved being in this world. And it reminded me that, the radio in 1980, I heard all those songs.
Right.
I heard Gary Newman on the radio. I heard
My Sharona.
I heard Rapper's Delight on the radio, and and Eddie Rabbit on the radio on the same station. And everything
Top
wasn't.
40.
Yeah, things weren't so compartmentalized as they are now. So
It's a great little time capsule in that way, and also in the clothes and the facial hair.
Yeah.
And it's not a parody.
No.
It's dead on and it's affectionate. Like it's detail perfect and affectionately
yes,
so.
it's not this sort of kind of Mike Myers like kind of period wackiness. No, it's just you're right. It feels true. And like you look at it and you know why people thought that was sexy at the time.
What, the mustache, the bad porn mustaches?
The porn mustaches, the Kiana disco shirts, the dolphin shorts, all that stuff,
Yeah. No, it totally gets when you're trying to figure out who you are.
Sure.
And then he's trying to gel with this group of people who are inherently testosterone fueled because not only are they young men in college, but they are baseball players in college, and so they're all trying to prove themselves.
But even within that, they're not, as you pointed out, they're not stereotyped, and they surprise you with the things that they say.
And some of them are assholes. They're not all asshole jocks. Some of them are.
Some of them are assholes, and some of them are strangely wise in the ways of the world and very open-minded. And I love like the character Finn. I forget the actor who plays him. I think he was on Scream Queens. Any situation. Glen Powell. He's a lot of fun in this.
He is your Matthew McConaughey figure.
Kind of. Yeah, he's sort of the older,
confident.
Yeah, definitely. But always has a rap.
He was the best.
But I love his openness to things. Like they find themselves in these weird situations, and he's like, yes, let's do it.
Or the party they go to at the end.
Yeah, the party at the end, or when they go to the punk club or whatever. He's down. He is down for whatever's going to happen.
Great screen presence,
I think this is the kind of movie where if you're seeing it for the first time now, like in high school or college, this is going to be a touchdown for you for the rest of your life.
Definitely,
probably.
Very quotable. So then, what is your number then, my friend?
I give this an 8.5. I think it is a solid piece. A few pieces maybe could have been shorter, I think.
As is often the case with Linklater.
Sometimes he doesn't know when to quit. But for the most part, a really lovely little movie.
Yeah, I will say 8.7 is just a blast. I am shocked at how much I like this. It's 2 hours long.
The trailer is terrible. Don't be misled.
Yeah, it makes it look like wacky hijinks movie.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's deeper than that, and it's sweeter than that, and it's got amazing energy. So our average is 8.6 to make math easy. Oh, Matt wanted to be here. Matt was physically on his way into the studio, had to get called back to work. He said he would have given it an 8. He liked it a lot too.
And it's a 98% on the tomato meter. I mean, it's in limited release. There may be more reviews later, but that's pretty good out of the gate.
Yeah, it's not really a great week for movies, so go see this.